Hello, everyone. Welcome to the recap for round 11 as we get ready to wind up this season, season 6 of the Battle of the Songs, the bots. Got a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. We got, let's see here. Now, first matchup in the Traveling Wilburys, we had Wang, who took Handle with Care by the Traveling Wilburys to take on Sky, who had Evil Woman by ELO. And Sky pulls out the victory, 16-8 on that one. Next up, we had Jimmy, who took In Dreams by Roy Orbison. And that took on the Orca, who had I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. Orca gets his first win, 17-7. Next up, Luch took Shady Grove by Mud Crunch, which I believe is Tom Petty's first band. And he took on Mitch, who had What Is Life by George Harrison. Mitch did win 16-8 over Luch. Next up, Smark took Don't Come Around Here No More by Tom Petty. He took on Polar, who had Do Ya by ELO. Do Ya got the victory there, 15-9 for Polar. Alright, next up we had Fourth, who took Last Train to London by ELO. Took on John McHenry, who had Only the Lonely by Roy Orbison. That was a 15-9 victory for Fourth. For McHenry. 15-9 for John McHenry with Only the Lonely. Next up, Fuji had End of the Line by the Traveling Wilburys. He took on Haas, who took American Girl by Tom Petty. That was a 14-10 win for Haas. This was my match of the week, so Haas gets a half-hour jump next round. So the Traveling Wilburys are 0 for 2 in their own category. So it's unfortunate, but they're two great songs. Next up, Jeff took Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan. And he was taking on Trooper, who took Mr. Blue Sky by ELO. That was a 14-10 win for Trooper. As Knocking on Heaven's Door, two different versions of that song in back-to-back weeks have lost. Next up, Waddles took Blowin' in the Wind by Bob Dylan. And Lethal took Hurricane by Bob Dylan. This was our closest matchup, 13-11. Waddles gets the victory there over Lethal, 13-11. Next up, Cake took Free Fallin' by Tom Petty versus OMB, who took Mary Jane's Last Dance. And that is going to be a victory for Cake. Free Fallin' gets the victory, 15-9. Chris is next up with Tangled Up in Blue by Bob Dylan versus Sabs, who took My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. And Sabs gets to win 14-10, which is 2 wins for the George Harrison solo songs that were on here. We love George Harrison here, I guess. And finally, we had Doom, who took You Don't Know How It Feels by Tom Petty. And I took Oh Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison. And I had the victory of the week, 19-5. So that is how that got out. We did a couple extra voters, RDK and Charlie. Thank you for voting, guys. Appreciate it. The bonus songs. Free Fallin' with Cake gets her a bonus point. She had a 12 upvote, so she gets 1 bonus point there. There's a lot of points given to a lot of songs here, so there's not any huge winners. Next up, Orca not only gets a victory, but Orca gets some bonus points for I Won't Back Down. So that's 2 extra points, giving him a 5 total on the round. And the most points with the upvote of 16 is Roy Orbison, Oh Pretty Woman. So I do get 3 extra points. So it gives me 6 total points, which puts me in first place heading into the final round. I am at first place with 32 points. Haas is in second place now with 29. Wang and Waddles are now in 3rd place with 28 points. Jeff is in 4th place with 26 points. Trooper in 5th place with 24 points. 6th place, we have Fuji with 23. 7th place is Luch with 22. Cakewalker has 21 points in 8th place. 9th place, we have Chris and Jimmy at 19 points. 10th place is 4th McHenry and Sky, all with 18 points. 11th place, we got Lethal, Doom, Sabs, and Polar, all with 17 points. 12th place, we have OMB 15. 13th is Mitch with 14. 14th place is Smart with 11 points. And the Orca still in last place, but now it has 5 points instead of 0. All right, so the last round matchups are going to be based off of the people that have a chance to win are all facing off against each other. Everybody else either facing off against somebody that they, I kind of try to make it a little fun for the last round. So, Smark versus Mitch, Polar versus Orca. I figured that'd be a fun match for those two. We got Doom versus OMB, McHenry versus Lethal. We're going to have Cake versus Sabs, 2, the grudge match. We have Chris versus Sky. I figured those two will like that one. And Fuji versus Luch. Now the next 3 matchups are all people. Unfortunately, Trooper does not have any chance to win. He'll be facing off against Jeff. And Jeff would need to have a win and the bonus points, and then for the people above him to not have any bonus points. It's a slim chance, but Jeff still could pull that out. Wang versus Waddle. They both have 28 points. So, I mean, if I lose and I don't get any bonus points and they get bonus points, they would pass me. But if Haas wins, because it's Haas and I in the final round, and Haas wins, me and him will tie. But if he gets a bonus point and I don't get any bonus points, he wins. So it's coming down to, it's either going to be me, Haas, Wang, Waddles, or Jeff. That's where it stands. Now, in the case of a tie, I got something lined up because we hate ties here. So if the final standings there's a tie, I'm going to have one final little suicide round. That'll explain later if it comes up to that. So we'll see how that goes. So that's how those matchups are going to line up. Of course, we'll post all of this in a thread. When you can get your songs in, we're just going to do a couple quick lumps here. We got Lethal, Doom, Sabs, Polar, OMB, Mitch, Smark, and Orca. You can all get your songs in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, win this post probably. Cake, Chris, Jimmy, 4th, McHenry, Sky, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the next, myself, Haas, Wang, Waddles, Jeff, Trooper, Fuji, Luch. All get yours in after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's that. Good luck, everybody, in this final round. It's been a lot of fun. Oh, and the topic, in case everybody missed it, it's British Invasion 2. British artists from with songs from the 60s, 70s, or 80s. So British Invasion 2 was the big winner on that one. So hopefully that will help everybody out. And thank you very much. I trucked through this because I had a lot to talk about and I need to get this stuff posted. So thank you all. Talk to you soon.